We are standing at number 4 arresting gear wire on the landing pattern of the Hornet. We're looking at the island.
What's the number 12 mean?
The 12th aircraft carrier that the United States built. We were retired because of our catapults. They are hydraulically driven and not capable of launching a plane such as the Phantom, which is about 70,000 pounds. We were limited to about 40,000.
What are we looking at down there?
Well, that is a bar that is designed to break at a certain amount of pressure.
You'd use it one time because it literally broke in half.
That's correct. And we're able to close this device down to really concentrate that energy coming out the end of the catapult.
So if it's a smaller hole, then it's coming out with more pressure.
That's correct.
Sounds like a wild ride.
I've been launched once. It is truly a wild ride. We are entering primary flight control, or better known as Pri-Fly. And this was the area that we controlled all launches and all recoveries. There was no air conditioning in this facility. It was quite hot and humid. We did have closed circuit TV, which was put in the 60s. We were usually looking a mile to 2 miles aft to see a plane coming in.
Explain what this indicator is here.
You don't have to turn the ship into the wind for helicopters necessarily.
So you just tell the helicopter what direction the wind is coming from and they take off into it.
That's correct.
You have to be kind of small to escape here in an emergency.
Well, yes, that escape hatch is not for a large person. This device we're looking at is called a Ouija board.
Ouija board. Can you talk to your ancestors with it?
Not quite. Each plane was given a little icon with its number on it, and if it was moved, the icon was moved. We're entering the bridge. This is the captain's chair.
Nicest chair on the whole ship.
Yes, it was, and it was the only person allowed to sit in the chair was the captain, and of course now it's old docents. This used to be a flying bridge, which means it had no roof on it.
Oh, really?
So in the 50s, when the bridge was renovated, they put a roof on because we picked up jets. It was hot, there was no air conditioning on the ship, and of course everybody smoked.
Wow,
So
hot and smoky.
Hot and smoky.
Was the communication between the bridge and the helm typically just shouted through the portals there?
Through the holes, through the portholes, yep. What we have here is the helm. This is the steering wheel of the ship, and then we have the lee helm, which is the engine order telegraph. I call that the accelerator.
There's a person on the other end of that accelerator.
Yes, there is. Yeah, and he's called a throttleman down in the engineering space.
Now, over here, that's where the captain slept?
The palatial captain's quarters, yes, this is his at-sea cabin, and he would live here. He slept here, he took his meals here, took his showers here, because the captain is responsible for the ship totally when it's underway. Every course change, we'd wake the captain to tell him.
Wow.
So they did not get much sleep. We're entering CIC, or Combat Information Center. This was basically the brains of the ship. This is a device that helped us track the position of the ship. It's called a DRT, or Dead Reckoning Tracer, and it involved a very primitive mechanical analog computer.
Wow.
Which dealt with our longitude and latitude. This particular device here was running off our sonar. We could track 4 submarines at one time, which was quite innovative in the 60s when this thing was designed. These other units are designed for tracking surface contacts, which are other ships, or air contacts.
Tell me about these boards.
There was a sailor behind these boards, and he's writing backwards. He's taking the information that he's given through a headset, and he's putting it on the board.
Now, you also said it gets warm in here.
Well, all of these devices are operated by vacuum tube, which puts out a great deal of heat. So this space, although it was unusual for air conditioning to be on this ship, this space was air conditioned out of a necessity. We are entering the escalator on the Hornet.
Escalator?
Yes. This escalator was installed in the early 50s. It was rigged to run several times faster than normal.
Really? So it would be almost like you were flying up to the...
Pretty much. They wanted to make sure that the boys weren't wearing themselves out before they got up here. This particular crane was used when Hornet picked up Apollo 11 and Apollo 12. So this is how we got the capsules out of the water, brought them up, put them on the deck here. This is exactly like the helicopter that picked up the astronauts for Apollo 11. They got into this basket, was pulled up and into the helicopter.
So as if falling from space wasn't enough, you also had to be hoisted into a helicopter.
Exactly. And the astronauts who were now in their sealed uniforms got out of the helicopter, walked over and went into the quarantine capsule. There were five people in here, 3 astronauts, a doctor, and a cook mechanic. The first meals cooked on a microwave were done in this capsule.
Really? So that microwave or a microwave much like it?
We're not sure of that one, but it's a microwave very like that.
They came in here and they had to take off spacesuits, right? So
Well,
did they
they
stash those in the closet or something?
Yes, when they came in, they took off their quarantine stuff and put on regular gloves.
Explain this whole concept of moon germs.
Well, we didn't know what we were going to find, and so what they were trying to do is make sure that these gentlemen did not contaminate the outside.
They had to use a phone to talk to the people right outside?
Regular dial phone, and there's a plug-in outside.
They put food in the box here?
Put food in the box and anything else they wanted to get in or out. We're approaching the restoration area of Hangar Bay 3 on the Hornet, and what we're looking at is a plane, the F-8 Crusader, which is in restoration now.
What's involved in restoring an aircraft like this?
Well, first of all, you have to have a restoration crew, which are all volunteers, stripping the paint, finding the damaged area, stripping that out, find out what needs to be fixed, what is okay. This is an operational radial engine that will be used in a future aircraft if we restore. We're approaching the Fantail, which is the very end of the ship. And this was a recreational area for the sailors when we were not flying aircraft. So we've got a beautiful view of San Francisco.
You say there's a reason why it was only when the aircraft weren't flying.
Well, we didn't want anybody down here in case the aircraft crashed here.
Because that's where they land.
That's where they land, right there.
This would just be where you would come and just relax, shoot the breeze?
And smoke cigarettes, of course.
I would assume there'd be a lot of cigarette butts littered
Oh,
around.
well, no, that wouldn't be allowed. They would have butt kits or cigarette ashtrays out, and there would be no cigarettes on the deck. We also have our garbage chute out here. We bring the soft garbage out and we put it in a garbage chute while we're moving, and the propellers chew it up, feed the fish.
So the propellers are actually the garbage disposal.
Pretty much, yeah, that's it.